Sun, beaches, and Latin-inspired flavors are what people around the world call their vacation paradise. We call it home. Welcome to the weekly podcast that captures it all. The Scoop on Miami. Let's discover and rediscover Miami together with Ernie Emad, a 54-year resident of the Magic City, and Miami native Lainey Rada on The Scoop on Miami. And now, here's Ernie Emad and Lainey Rada.
Welcome to The Scoop on Miami. It's our first live from our actual studios in Coral Gables. It's a working real estate office, so we're excited. Welcome, Lainey. We're finally in front of each other. Some of us masked, some of us not. Let's see what you sound like through that.
I sound just like I always do.
You do. You sound great.
I don't think anybody
as a matter
can
of fact, you cannot tell, actually, but your voice sounds, without a doubt, a lot richer. Anyways, how was your week?
The week's been good. It's been a little bit off of all the Zoom calls. Last week I had one day that I had 8 Zoom calls, so I've been trying to keep it down and focus on what I need to do beyond that.
Now you got to try to monetize those Zoom calls. Look, it's great that we're moving forward, right? The economy's moving forward. I had a little bit of traffic coming in today, so that was good. And I wasn't itching about it. I was welcoming the traffic because it gave me the feeling that we're starting to move towards that. We have an exciting and jam-packed podcast today. If you're listening to this show on iTunes or as a podcast, you can also watch the podcast on our Facebook page, YouTube, and thescooponmiami.com. By the way, on today's show, we have Andres Guillarte from Insurance Depot to discuss your insurance, specifically car insurance. What should you do if you're experiencing a hardship? You know, if you miss your loan payment for your home, nothing happens right now. And we know that if you have a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan, there is forbearance programs available. But he's going to discuss what his carriers are doing and what should you do if you're falling behind on your car payments. As you know, the insurance companies have to report it to the state, and your insurance can actually get suspended.
And your license, too.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So you want to definitely take a proactive and not miss. That's on our first segment. Also on today's show is the man that we are so pleased and grateful to have in the house, celebrity chef Brian Hill, the former personal chef to Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, P. Diddy, among others. And he will share some of his newest ventures, including the new restaurant here in South Miami. And we are so grateful that he chose Miami and South Miami right in our back door.
And his inspiration, too.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about energy and passion. We'll also have Miami Rewind and the 305's Hidden Treasure. And we're getting some good comments. You want to share a couple of them with us?
Oh, we have our 5-star reviews that we're really excited about of the people that are following us and listening to our podcast. And we have a really exciting written review that says, it's from Alva Phoenix, which we want to thank very much for this. It says, smooth like butter. Love the hosts. They have such a smooth flow that keeps it easy to hear. Love the segments, too, where they have the music and explain parts of Miami. Haven't heard a podcast with this style before.
Isn't
that exciting?
That is very exciting. Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in to the first segment, which is a very important segment because most of us use a car. I want to give a quick shout out to Barbara Haley. Lainey and myself and Barbara and a few of us last year had a group of agents that we rehearsed role-played telephone scripts and listing presentations to keep ourselves sharp and in real estate and collaborating with our own competitors. And that's how we ended up doing this. But she dropped off some books to me, and I haven't read them all, Barbara, so but I will be using one every single Friday. It's called Inspiration 365 Days a Year. It's by Zig Ziglar. And May 1st, it's amazing, right, that this year is quickly passing along. His inspirational quote is, "The doors of wisdom are never shut." And that's his inspiration quote for May 1st from Zig Ziglar.
He was a treasure.
He sure was. So our first guest today from the Insurance Depot is Andres Guillarte, one of the largest insurers of auto, home, motorcycle, boat, and yacht policies in the state. And let's welcome to the Scoop on Miami, Andres Guillarte. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Look, we're very pleased that you're on the program to discuss this, because I know the Insurance Depot does a lot more than just car insurance, and thank you for taking the time. By the way, he's going to be live with me on Sunday on the For Sale by Owner Authority podcast, also found on iTunes and YouTube, discussing homeowners insurance and different types of insurance from a seller's perspective as well as from a buyer. So tune in on Sunday. Tell me a little bit about the Insurance Depot, how you guys got started, how long you've been in the business, and share your story with our community.
Yeah, so I started Insurance Depot. I've been in the insurance industry since 1996, so I think 25 years. I graduated high school and started some college, but I never school's never been a thing for me. So I didn't last long in school. A friend of mine told me about an opportunity in insurance that you can make a lot of money. So although I was never good at school, I was always hardworking. So I went and I got my insurance license right away and opened up my insurance agency, really with no experience whatsoever. And basically a little bit learning through the ropes. Really a lot of ups and downs since then, but this is where we are now. We're a multi-line agency. We write everything that's property and casualty and financial services. Everything that includes auto, home, life. We do business and health and supplemental health and life insurance as well.
Fantastic. So let's talk about that subject of car insurance. For those people that actually find themselves in a hardship, we're going into month number 2 now without paychecks for many people. And most likely they're paying their insurance on a month-to-month basis. What type of advice, what are your carriers doing for those type of people? And let's cover a couple of points regarding that.
Sure. So insurance companies are being very open with customers. There's one side, which is the insurance side, and the other side is, if we're talking about auto, is your obligation to the state to have insurance. So in essence, you need to have insurance so that you don't run into a complication with the state and get your license suspended. When your insurance is canceled, the insurance company notifies the state of Florida, and to your driver's license, the state of Florida sends you a letter to the address on your driver's license, and you have 30 days to respond. And if you don't, then they suspend your license for negligence, not having any insurance. So that being said, the insurance companies, what they're doing a few things. One is they're allowing, if you're having hardship in making your payment this month, let's say, they're allowing your payment to be postponed to the next month. Some companies are allowing the monthly payment to be broken down and added to the next 3 months. And that's one part on alleviating the monthly burden right now for the insurance payment. The other one is that since there's a lot less driving going on now, the insurance companies are looking to reduce policyholders' premiums.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard about that.
Yeah.
Only for the duration of coronavirus, and then they'll go back to the regular premium prices?
Yeah, correct. They'll kind of level that off. It's not like from 1 month to another. So insurance companies run kind of behind. So since right now is a time where they're experiencing less claims, since there's less driving and whatnot, you'll see those reductions coming next month and possibly the month after. And as driving goes back up, then a month or two after that, then you'll see the premiums probably start to rise, depending on how much driving is going on, if there are any claims and that kind of thing. But the insurance companies are being very proactive, and they're being very helpful, all from the top carriers to the smaller carriers as well.
So let me ask you, does the insured have to be proactive by contacting their insurance to receive those discounts, or it will automatically take place?
That's a good question. So in regards to having the monthly payment alleviation, let's say, no, you have to be proactive. You have to call your insurance company and tell them that you're having that hardship. And, a good agent or agency right away will help you and contact the insurance company and go ahead and make that happen for you. And then as far as the insurance companies reducing the premiums for the what's going on with the less driving, that's something that's happening automatically. You don't have to call your insurance company. You'll get a credit actually if you're on auto pay, you'll get a credit to your checking or your credit card, or if not, you'll receive a check in the mail.
I guess it's like everything. Staying quiet is not a good option. You come forward to your insurance, you explain the hardship. They're not really asking for proof that you're receiving unemployment. They're just taking people's word for it and giving that extension. If you can make some kind of a payment, you can make some kind of an arrangement. But staying silent will only buys you 30 days, right? Because if the insurance company doesn't hear from you, then they cancel your insurance. They send it to the state, and then you have another 30 days to make your insurance good again. But does insurance work like the health? So if you miss an insurance payment, you get canceled. Is it difficult to then go get another policy with another carrier?
We're talking about autos?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if your policy gets canceled with the, if your
For non-payment.
For non-payment, yeah, it's not difficult at all. There's auto insurance is very competitive, especially in our state and specifically in our county. So, they're a dime a dozen. So it's not difficult at all. But yeah, there's no difficulty in finding insurance.
So tell me, Andres, if somebody has an insurance policy that's coming due, or they want to compare their prices with what you have to offer, what's the best way that they can reach your office?
Yeah, so they can call our office. Our number is 305-443-5758. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We also have a website, which is www.insurancedepotUSA.com. You can chat with us through our website, and you can also reach us by text. It's a convenient way. We've through the last couple of years, we've seen a really big increase in dealing and communicating with customers via text message. Mm-hmm. So you can text our same number of our office, and then you can email us at our same number, 305-443-5758 at insurancedepotUSA.com. And I mention all of those because nowadays we do business, we do a lot of business electronically, whether by text, email, and then of course phone.
And I'm glad that Insurance Depot is prepared with today's technology, and folks, it's our mission is for people to use local companies as opposed to going online to saving a couple of dollars here and a couple there. What are the insurance lines that you carry?
Yeah, so we do, when you say property and casualty, so we do auto, we do home, we do life, boat, motorcycle, and any ATVs. We also do life insurance. We do whole life, universal, term life. And then we do commercial. We do commercial property. So if you have a business as well, we do business owner policies. We do malpractice insurance. We cover a wide spectrum of insurance. We specialize a lot in commercial and business owner policies, in commercial auto as well, and homeowners. Whether the whole spectrum of homeowners. So from small to medium homes to high value homes as well. We are, I failed to mention earlier, our agency has been one of the highest producing property and casualty agencies in the state for about 10 years now. We take pride. We're kind of an old school kind of company. We believe in customers first. We love to speak and see our customers, although a lot of customers nowadays like to deal electronically, but we're always there. We believe in values-based leadership. So, customers are our priority and are always the number one thing.
That's fantastic. Andres, again, Give your office phone number one more time.
Yeah, 305-443-5758.
305-443-5758. Give Andres a call at Insurance Depot for all of your insurance needs. Thank you so much for being on the Scoop on Miami today. Valuable information. Don't forget, even if you're not insured with him, give him a call. He can answer any of your questions and help you out. When we return to the Scoop on Miami, we're going to have Chef Brian Hill from Brian's Comfort Kitchen in South Miami. And you're going to find out exactly who he is, a bundle of energy. And that's coming up in just a moment.
Insurance Depot, Florida's largest insurance agency for auto, homeowners, renters, business, health, life, motorcycle, and boat marine insurance. Our business hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also visit us on our website 24/7 at www.insurancedepot.usa.com to chat with one of our licensed agents right away. Or text us at 305-443-5758, and one of our licensed agents will respond promptly. For more information, download our free app from the App Store or Google Play, where you can view insurance policies, request a quote, make payments, or file a claim on your tablet or mobile device. Insurance Depot. Better rates, better selection, better service.
He's known as the culinary Kanye with some LeBron in the kitchen. He's been the private chef for Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Eddie Murphy, and now he's your private chef. Top Chef, Master Chef Brian Hill brings his culinary talents to South Miami. Brian's Comfort Kitchen, the genius behind hundreds of original delicious recipes like Brian's world-famous fried chicken sliders, the Texas-style French toast sticks with golden fried chicken strips, or their addictive fried tortilla chips, aka chips. Located under the Umbrella Food Hall in South Miami's Sunset Place, 5701 Sunset Drive. Open for takeout and delivery. Call 305-397-8499. 305-397-8499. Don't forget to try the amazing Super Dope Fried Chicken and the amazing Chicken and Waffles. Brian's Comfort Chicken in South Miami.
We're back with more of the Scoop on Miami. Find our podcast on iTunes and on YouTube as a video, our Facebook page, and thescooponmiami.com. While there, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. And now, here's Ernie Enad and Lady Rada.
You can feel the energy in the room. It's exciting. As I said, he is known as a culinary Kanye and some LeBron in the kitchen. How are you doing today?
And I'm beautiful. I'm so happy. This is actually so much fun, especially since I just arrived here. It'll be 1 year on May 6th.
Oh.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
And I'm already getting jiggy with it with you guys.
Thank you so
Can I still
much.
say jiggy with it?
Yes, and thank you.
You're welcome. It's
You know,
my
it's
pleasure.
funny how we met. For many people that know me, I do a lot of cold calling. I love to call for business. And I ran into your story in the local newspaper or
The Miami
television.
Herald, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it was. And tell us a little bit about that quick little story of what happened.
Listen, the bottom line is, okay, you can kind of guess I'm in the people-pleasing business, okay? I'm in the yes business. So with everything going on and folks not able to actually like come into your restaurant anymore, people have special days still. Those special days didn't stop. Your birthdays, your anniversaries, you know, you graduating from somewhere, it didn't stop, but yet it stopped. So folks would come up to the door for takeout. And they're like, Chef Brian, I heard about your boneless chicken and waffles. Boneless chicken, okay, and waffles. So I'm like, okay, thank you so much. But Chef, today's my birthday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't give them a pound. I can't hug them, nothing. But they're showing me so much love. So I told Steve Simon over at Your Umbrella, he owns Your Umbrella. And we're just sitting down. This is last Sunday, by the way, last Sunday. And I said, Steve, like, I see people on like TikTok and and on Instagram saying, next week I'm just going to go to my favorite restaurant, even though they're just doing takeout. We're going to just ask and demand for a table. So everyone started saying this, and they're still saying it. So I said, Steve, let's just do something fun. He said, hold on. And he started doing some kind of post, and he said, Chef, let's actually do a table for them. And see, here's the good part, though, okay? You're going to love this, though, Ernie. The great part is when they come up and get the takeout, right, they sometimes stand right by the curb, just 10 feet away from us, and eat all of their food. And then say, hey, can you throw this away from me? They leave it on the table. I get my gloves, boom, dispose of it. It's the same premise, but we made it special. So we put stanchions around. We actually measured. Steve measured 6 feet, 8 feet, so we wouldn't be close to them. We put stanchions around them, a table. We disinfected the table and put a nice new tablecloth on for them. And literally, he did the post on Instagram. They went crazy. 2,500 people later.
My goodness.
Said, it's my special day too. And a nice couple, I mean, oh my God, golden couple. I'm sorry, everything's golden for me, by the way. just write that down, okay?
It's nice to feel golden.
Yes, it's nice to feel golden. And they were living their lives like it was golden. And we made it so special for them. And the day after, when the very nice police officer that already knows Steve Simon, and he knows me as well, came around, because they were going to send a patrol car around, because people complain. But they complained as if we were harming someone. Listen, I get it. Believe me, I get it. Listen to me. I came from nothing. I now have something. Even though I lost everything, and we'll get into that later, I just wanted people to feel special. Do you understand that no one knew I was there? I opened March 12th. No one knew I was there. People heard about me. And they were like, Chef Brand, we heard about your super dope tenders and your Texas-style French toast sticks. And I'm like, okay, you want some? You know what I mean? Like, I was so happy. But they were like, but today is special to me. You know, this is the day I met my wife, and boom, I got married. That's why we gathered this in. So my feelings are deep on this, okay? They're so deep, it's enough to swim in, okay? That's how deep it is right now. So that's the short version, but I guess not so short anyway.
So I picked up the phone and I called him. I wanted to have him on the podcast, and he agreed, and we are so grateful and honored to have you here today. I called yesterday, and
yes, you did.
You know, one of the most incredible things about you that hit me right off the bat is how approachable and accessible you are.
Thank you.
That to me was a humbling experience, that you're the guy that answered the phones, you're the guy that cooks, because as a small business owner, I empty the garbage, I clean the floors, I clean the desks.
I can feel that about you.
And I don't have any issues doing. We do whatever it takes to do it. And that was something that was so impressive. So I ordered just about everything on the menu yesterday. And I brought a couple of people, gave the front desk, and I ate some.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, those French breadsticks.
The French, so Texas style French toast sticks. I've been doing those for 15 years, but that's my first time doing them in a restaurant.
The crunch and the coating on that.
It's crazy, right? It's
crazy. You don't even need the syrup.
You know what's so crazy? A lot of people say that. And kids love them.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So tell us about your story.
Oh my God.
Because you come across like one of us, and I get that gut feeling that you really are a really sincere, honest human being.
I am.
To have that kind of career, tell us a little bit about it.
Great segue there, Ernie. I literally grew up poor. As a matter of fact, we weren't poor, we were po. We had to save up to be poor.
I thought about that. How much did you have to save just to add the other O and R?
So we had, see, I can laugh about this now. So, like, I used to eat Tootsie Rolls for dinner, okay? This is a real story. I mean, it's sappy, but I can laugh about it now and smile about it now, because also therapy helped. And also speaking to good people and letting that story out. So, again, my feelings are very deep on this. And like I said, when you come from nothing, right, which I came from, but at least you know you have somewhere that you can go, and there's a light. The light came from the fact that even though we grew up poor, my father left us when I was 9. There's 5 of us. It's like an African village. I'm second to the youngest, okay? We struggled not only financially, but we struggled emotionally too, because your mother, not everyone can handle tragedy. Now, no one died, okay, but I'm gonna be very, very sincere, but maybe a little too direct for some people, but my father died to me when he left. Mm-hmm. Not everyone can handle tragedy the same. So my mother just collapsed. Not everyone can handle tragedy. So literally, we were left to our own devices. So we're welfare recipients. Of course, there was Medicaid and all that, but it didn't help you.
You actually had to cook for the family at 13.
I started, exactly, because my mother and my sister, they burn hard-boiled eggs. It's a true story. No, seriously. There were 2 degrees of cooking in my house, Ernie, off and high.
Well, Chef Ann says brown food is good. That's where the flavor is. It just can't go too far, huh?
You're right. Brown food is good, right, because the flavor's there.
That's correct.
But stop it there. So I knew there was something else because my teachers kept telling me, you're special. See, generally what happens is the tougher stuff, when people say you aren't going to be anything, that's easier to hear because then you can just give up. But when they say you're special, you're like, damn, now I got to start working. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
It makes so much sense because in real estate, all of my agents and agents around, they all want accountability till they get it.
Aha. I love that. Ooh. You just went to the bottom of the ocean on that one, Ernie.
That's what happens.
I knew that I had something. So I was like, you know what? Let me just see what happens. And there was a show back then called Dallas, right? So
I remember.
You remember, right? So Lainey remembers. So I thought that everyone was poor. That was my perception because we were poor.
Oh, yeah.
So then exactly.
Your perspective was very different.
So I start watching and seeing these Mercedes-Benzes and all that, right? And I'm like, well, hold on. If everyone's poor, why do they have this? Mm-hmm. Even though it's a television show. So I'm thinking, everyone can't be poor because manufacturers wouldn't make this stuff. So I'm like, well, let me see where the work takes me. Mm. And then teachers start saying, hey, if you just keep working, Brian, something might happen for you. If you just keep working, Brian, that was the motto, if you will. So I said, you know what? I'm going to see where this cooking thing can take me because I knew I loved it. And when I would see the Galloping Gourmet, Graham Kerr, and Jacques Pepin cook, it was magic to me. And it made my heart beat fast out of my chest.
Wow.
And I was so hungry for it. The hunger was there. And I knew that this was something I wanted to do.
That's incredible.
It's nice to have that calling.
Yeah.
And, we were talking a little bit off the air before we got started, and I always like to ask, when somebody gets to a specific level, what was it in their life that made that difference, that took you from regular to boom, right? And we talked about your overnight success of 13 years of hard work and so forth.
No one can say that but you, Ernie.
What's your catalyst?
So you're right. Many years of just showing up early and leaving late, right? Phil Robinson, P. Diddy's manager, Puff's manager, Diddy's manager, said when I got to L.A., he's like, yo, dog. Actually, this is how he said it. He's like, yo, dog, your food is fire. Fire. He said, I like the way you work. He said, I got a guy that you're going to like. Now, I didn't know that he was P. Diddy's business manager, by the way, Phil Robinson. And he says, okay, I want you to come to New York and do events for Puff. So I come there, right? And I see that they really need me because they had other people. Right? They had other chefs, but they couldn't deliver, okay? They couldn't deliver. So I said, you know what? I'm going to show up early and leave late like I used to do, and like I've been doing. So I killed it. And Phil was so happy because he brought me in. He's like, wait a minute, like, this is the guy.
Starting to take credit.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Starting to take credit.
Starting to take credit. Big credit, too.
He got
So
noticed.
literally, I'm doing, for some of the new artists, for 112, I'm doing the food. So when these guys come to Bad Boy Records in Times Square, they can eat. You know what I mean? So for his legal meetings and all of that, I started doing. And Phil Robinson knew I was hungry. He knew I was hungry, but he also knew that I wasn't thirsty. And like I said before, when you're hungry, you're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm hungry, but someone offers you pork, and you're like, you know what? I don't really eat pork, though. But when you're thirsty, you'll drink anything. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do what's needed, because I know how this entertainment business can be. But when they see that you're thirsty, then it's not the same playing field, is it?
What brought the thirst?
What brings the thirst?
For you? You were hungry?
Well, here's the thing. Of course, as I said, the thirst, though, is bad, because what happens is when you're thirsty, though, you'll do anything but the wrong things.
Yes,
Because you know why?
you're not
You just want
selective.
money.
Right.
And when you just want money, when money is your only,
Carrot.
Thank you, Lainey.
You got to pick a food.
I love you. Great landing, sister. When you are so thirsty and it's just money that you want, you don't have the same love and passion, and people won't feel it or taste it. And there were things that I was asked to do, because they weren't just asking just to ask. You know what I mean? They were asking to see how far they could take it. You see what I'm saying? Because this is human nature.
yes.
But like, no, dog, I don't do that. I'm not doing that. And I'm working like 18 hours a day, okay, on average. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kill it and let it marinate and let them see who I am. And when you just want to do something, especially in the culinary industry or even hospitality industry, just for money, it's over. It's Rap City. Your career is over because you no longer have the passion, and you never will.
Got it. Incredible.
Does that make any sense?
It makes tremendous
Yes,
sense.
it's great.
So now, when we come back,
Okay.
we are going to take you into where you're at today.
Uh-oh.
Because I know you came to Miami years ago, and then you left.
Yes, I did.
And now you came back.
I
So we're gonna-
love your research, dog. You're the research.
I've got a little guy named Ernie that does all the research for me
is
at
bananas.
nights, and then I consult with him in the mornings. He's known as the culinary Kanye with some LeBron in the kitchen. He's been the private chef for Mary J. Blige,
Mariah Carey,
Eddie Murphy, and now he's your private chef. Top Chef, Master Chef Brian Hill brings his culinary talents to South Miami. Brian's Comfort Kitchen, the genius behind hundreds of original delicious recipes like Brian's world-famous fried chicken sliders,
the Texas-style French toast sticks with golden fried
chicken strips, or their addictive fried tortilla chips, aka crack chips. Located under the Umbrella Food Hall in South Miami's Sunset Place, 5701 Sunset Drive. Open for takeout and delivery. Call 305-397-8499. 305-397-8499. Don't forget to try the amazing Super Dope Fried Chicken and the amazing Chicken and Waffles. Brian's Comfort Chicken in South Miami.
I'm Lainey Rada, a leading edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman. I have over 35 years of experience in market cycles to bring to every transaction, and I'm still alive. When you want to see how I sell 85% of my listings and the average agent sells 40%, we need to talk. I break records, the fastest sale, the most offers, the highest price per square foot. Which one do we want to accomplish? My company includes superior quality marketing to enhance your property and the worldwide exposure, which matters in Miami. If you want to buy, I'm a Miami native. I know the area extremely well. Put my negotiating skills to work. I'm the only Lainey Rada in the world, so it's easy to find me. but I'll help you. My phone number is 305-710-8558. That's 305-710-8558. Let's set up a time to talk.
We're back with more of The Scoop on Miami. Find our podcast on iTunes and on YouTube as a video, our Facebook page, and thescooponmiami.com. While there, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. And now, here's Ernie Enac and Lainey Rada.
Welcome back. This is not only a podcast, but also available on YouTube, on our Facebook page, and thescooponmiami.com. So you get to whatever flavor you like. Listen, watch, or do them both. But whatever you do, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, that you share, and you tell everybody about The Scoop on Miami. We are again back here with Chef Brian Hill. And we were talking about some of his beginnings, what gave him his breaks. And now that he's here in Miami and in South Miami, we want to help him launch this incredible place. I think that's probably why I never was too much of a chicken and waffle guy, because I like boneless stuff, right? Yes. And yesterday, the combination of the savory, the sweetness, the crunch, the juiciness, because it's definitely, you know how to fry food. It locks the flavors in, it stays juicy, yes. But without that crunch, it was just fantastic.
Yes, okay, so I was mesmerized, okay? I was mesmerized.
You sold him.
I'm like, hello, I'm asleep.
You know, it was tough driving from your place here with the smell in my car.
Everyone says it's a high-class problem.
And I put it in the back seat so that I wouldn't even touch the chips until I got here.
It's tempting. It's tempting. So what I am doing right now is, I guess you can say that it's Steve Simon. He saved my life, because I lost everything. And I mean everything, but it was my own money. So literally, the restaurant that I had in Washington, D.C., I saved my own money from working for these celebs and doing Top Chef and Bar Rescue and all that, okay? So instead of me buying a Bentley, I invested in myself. So the people that owned the building, they had management. So I leased from those people. Well, they didn't like the fact that I was the only black-owned restaurant downtown. Turns out, I didn't know this, but downtown proper, where I was, 7 blocks from the White House, it had never been a fully owned, black-owned restaurant in the history of Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Yeah. That's sad, okay? Moving on, they didn't want me there. So that drove me out.
It's amazing in this day and age.
In this day and age, okay? Mm-hmm. So I literally lost everything because of legal fees. And when you don't have investors, no investors, just me. Mm-hmm. So I had $38,000 in legal fees because of nothing. They said I didn't have a beer and wine permit. I'm like, it's on the wall. So then it's like when someone accuses you of something, and then you have to go and defend yourself in court.
Yep, and it's very costly, and the bigger landlords have the money, and they can continue to fight until it becomes not worth it.
Yeah. And when I tell you I lost everything, I lost everything. I came to Miami, back to Miami, with $5,050. That's it. That doesn't include now that I have to find a place to live.
Right.
So I started cleaning homes, literally, until I met Steve Simon 2 weeks before I reopened on March 12th during the pandemic.
2 weeks.
Yes.
It shows that you really know what to do to be able to put together a restaurant in 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's almost like
food hall. Thank you for that. That's a very nice compliment.
Those restaurant shows that redo restaurants, and they can get it done in a couple of weeks, right? This is incredible to put together.
Well, I saved bars on Bar Rescue. I saved bars, but also I have a system, right?
What was his name from Bar Rescue?
What's the dude's name? Oh my God!
I can't remember his name, but I watched it.
I went blank anyway.
But that's okay.
Anyway.
No, not a problem.
But just like any restaurant chain, they have a system. And you have to trust your own process. So I trust my own process because I'm not even good at this. I am great at it. I cook and run my mouth. That's all I do, okay? Don't do anything else. I'm not a rapper. I'm not an actor. This is what I do, okay? So I said, Steve, I'm ready. I didn't have enough money, actually, to give all of it to him to start. He said, Chef, with this menu, don't worry, we'll make it. It'll all figure itself out. I'm in this restaurant with just a quarter of the money that I really needed to open. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. So this guy understood what I had.
He believed in you.
Well, you always have an angel always around you to reward the hard work and dedication and to believe in yourself, because many people would just, and I think failures is what gives us successes. We learn not to repeat those. So that's a very inspirational story that that you just shared with us. And that, can you imagine? I could only imagine what it would have been had you done what many chefs may have done, which is start to bring in a bunch of investors, right?
Yeah.
And then you're losing everybody else's money.
Exactly. I mean, listen, my credit is shot because it took me 11 months to pay off the 27 grand that I did owe. Mm-hmm. But you know what, though? I don't owe anybody a damn thing.
That's a good feeling.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's liberating.
I have nothing, but I don't owe anyone a damn thing.
That is liberating.
Are you with me?
And we know how much it costs to do a build-out of a restaurant in D.C. You can go through $250,000 just easily, quickly.
Yep.
So
it's real.
There's no question.
And this right here is such a start because, and it's a great reboot.
Yes.
Because
you already know.
Folks, yes, you do.
Yes.
Folks are hungry for it. And I know I have myself, again, a high-class problem on my hands when this is all over. I know it. But I don't mind. I'm
It's a
ready
good
for
thing.
Well, this is.
What'd you say?
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing, baby.
It's a good thing.
It's preparing. That prepared you way before you needed it, because now you're going to need it.
Isn't that something,
And
though?
yes, and you're going to be able to be the voice for a lot of people in your industry.
I want people to hear the real, like, folks just sugarcoat things. I'm like, no. I'm going to tell you what happened to me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
this
great.
is real talk.
And
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Steve's, your contact with Steve came while you were still in D.C.? Or
No,
why did you come to Miami?
Okay. So literally, I dated a woman that showed me South Miami and showed me Sunset Drive. I just was researching food halls.
Is she a realtor?
Say it again.
Is she a realtor?
No, actually, no. She's a
She
PhD,
showed you
though.
South Miami.
She has a PhD, though.
Wonderful.
Very nice woman, though. So literally, I was just researching food halls because I was like, well, maybe I can get into one of those. I went to a few, but to no avail. And I literally walked in, I said, and I mean this, 2 weeks before I opened at Umbrella. So I met Steve Simon 2 weeks before I started March 12th.
Great.
I walked in, he wasn't there, 9 a.m., they were setting up for the day. And I talked about to the hostess, I said, I think this is the place for me. Can you give me his information, the owner? She did. I emailed him even before I left the street in my car. He dialed me back about 6 hours later. I met him 2 days later.
Stay close.
2 days.
to the
2 days after that, I did the just a little tasting for him, chicken and waffles and the chicken sliders. Okay, he said, "Let's do it." I told him, I was like, "Listen, I don't have everything that you require." He said, "No, yes, you do.
That's great.
You don't have the cheddar." Okay. Okay.
That's right.
But you
There's
have,
the food
you know what I'm
reference.
saying? You
Gotta
like
stay on
that?
that.
You like that? But you have the chicken and waffles.
That's it.
And literally, March 12th, I started during the pandemic. And he closed, by the way. He closed your umbrella, even his Killer Melts, because he has Killer Melts. So he owns your umbrella and Killer Melts. He has another one in Kendall, by the way. So a standalone Killer Melts.
Okay.
So he closed all of that. I was there alone doing takeout alone, just me at the freaking food hall until just last week when he said, "Chef, you're doing business." I'm like, "Yep." And he said, "I think we're going to come back."
I love this story because there's so many people that are closed down, that are in a dark place.
Yep.
Unfortunately, which
Yeah.
is a real place. But you started at the time when a lot of people gave up.
Yep.
And it's so inspiring.
Thank you very much. I think
Hard work is noticed.
Thank you.
and is rewarded.
It is.
It may not be rewarded when we want it to be
Right.
rewarded,
And I realized that, by the way. I realized
but
that.
we get rewarded at the right time
Yeah.
somehow.
And I'll tell you this, the smiles, going back to the socially distant dinner that we did for those
Right.
that wonderful couple, that was my reward that night.
Yeah, that's great.
When I saw
That's
their
real.
faces light up and they were in love sitting across from each other, they were in love all over again. and for us, if people ask us why we did it for the glory of love.
That's beautiful.
That's why. For the glory of love and what we love.
Tell me about the story of the people that you hire.
Say it again.
Tell me the story of the people that you hire,
Oh, God.
because that was very touching to me.
Well, in D.C., you're referring to the things in D.C., correct?
You see, but you're doing it here as well.
Yeah. So, listen, it's tough being black, and folks ask me like, "Hey, chef, like a non-black person will say, well, how's racism?" I'm like, well, actually, racism hits me in the face every day. They're like, "No, chef, stop it. Come on, you're Chef Brian." No, I'm still black. So mild, maybe intense, maybe indifferent. But 7 days a week, racism hits me. I'm only safe at home. If you want the real story, you're asking. You weren't asking just to ask. You know what I'm saying, Ernie? Like, you're asking for a reason.
Correct.
So every day. It's not once a week. It's every day. It might happen when I leave you guys. So instead of getting angry, what you have to remember, though, is where it came from, okay? You have to remember the 400 years, okay? So when people are like, "Oh, you need to stop that, and you have a chip on your shoulder." No, the chip is 400 years, and I can't forget it ever, okay? But what you do is you have to do what I'm doing now. You have to keep moving, not so much blame. I can't blame folks like just because they're white. It's not, you know what I'm saying? You just can't blame people.
And you don't want somebody with a comment to take away your happiness.
Exactly. Having said that, you have to know that this is going to happen every day. You have to wake up saying, something's going to happen to me every day. But then you have to bring that fire into the world when you wake up. You got to bring the fire. So if you ever see like a black person in the car, like at 8 a.m. with loud music, that's their hype man because they know what's about to happen to them. I'm serious. It's not just because we love music. It's our hype man. It's our Flavor Flav. It's our Ed McMahon. So those kids,
Ed is still here.
So those kids, I have to help them because a lot of folks won't help these young black kids. So yes, I hire everyone. Okay, let me preface this part of the conversation with
Absolutely.
I hire everyone, but I'm going to make certain that I hire brown kids, especially when no one else will. 2 of them stole from me. They were on probation. And by the way, I'm not yelling at you. I just get a little excited, okay? Just so you know.
I'm Cuban. I have the same passion.
Okay. So instead of calling the police on them, I said, you know what? This is a learning situation here. I'm going to just take the money out of their next check, but not call the police on them. I'm going to sit down with them and see if they want to reinvest themselves into Chef Brian's Comfort Kitchen. And they did. One of them in that video, the Huffington Post video, she was with me after she did it. She still was with me. And she would show up early and leave late. She would give me a hug when she came in. And when she left for the night, she'd give me another hug.
That's nice.
I know I changed her life. I know
That's
it.
great.
That's a great experience,
Great story.
knowing that how many people look up to you and know that you're also human and caring enough to do that,
That
right?
you're genuine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not all talk.
Change somebody's life is really huge.
Yeah. And I think that's where for me, it's the corner of maximum and flavor. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's priceless. You can't buy that anywhere.
yeah.
That's
I'm going to say yes to that.
to look in that person's eyes is really important, and gave her that chance.
And that's what I want because I believe that is 95% of Chef Brian.
Great.
I'll never stop giving. People will they'll do things wrong
Yes.
still.
Yes.
But I'll never stop giving. You cannot stop me.
I
You can't.
agree. you can't receiveth unless you giveth anyways.
That's right.
And not that you're doing it to get something back. It's a very fulfilling thing.
No, but it's in my blood, and my own siblings, because you're in the ghetto and everybody's fighting and scratching. They're scratching to survive.
To get their part.
So what happens is you get into a mentality, and this is not all black folks, okay? There's no all of anything.
Correct.
But a lot of brown and black folks that grew up in the hood, it puts you into this mentality of take. Because you feel like someone has done something so wrong to you. Now, you have been wronged, okay? In certain situations, you have been wronged. But everyone hasn't wronged you.
Correct.
So now, as an adult, it's your responsibility. As a kid, the onus is on the mom and dad, or just mom or dad, whoever's there.
Well, I tell my
It's
daughters.
Grandma's there.
I tell
Grandma. That's right. Grandma's always there in the hood, baby, just so you know.
Yes,
the only
I
thing
know.
we can't choose in life are our parents.
No, you cannot.
Everything else we can choose, and
Yep.
we have a role. So we just have to be blessed and that we're here, no question. And I'm glad you're putting it to really good use. So what are the favorite dishes of your restaurant? And what are your hours currently? And what is Steve going to do? I believe that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be beginning to open restaurants, correct? And
Yeah, I think so.
we want to support you in that endeavor. But what are you planning for now? What are your hours? How can people
This is
reach
pretty
you?
simple, Ernie. Number one, for me, I open at 10:30. Now, your umbrella opens at 11, but I'm always there early because my Uber Eats starts at 10:30.
Okay.
So, of course, you can skip. If you're close, you can just come and pick it up. That way, they'll take that 30% away from me, okay? You know what I'm saying? You know how Uber Eats is. So you can actually come to pick it up yourself if you're in walking or driving distance. And literally, I'll just, hit when you can get there, and it'll be timed perfectly.
Perfect.
Or you can call, of course, 305, thank you, 397-8499. What am I talking about, 350? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
I don't know. You better find out now.
I don't even know what that is,
It
right?
came to you.
Right, 305-397-8499. And, of course, boom, you can come over and pick it up as well. What I want to do now is I want to make certain people know this is only for the pandemic, the hours from 10:30 to 9. Now, on the weekends, we try and do about, maybe 10:30, 11, on Friday and Saturday. But 9 p.m. basically is our cutoff on the other days. So that's when we close. But that's only now.
Right.
Once we get back rocking and rolling, then we'll do that the regular hours. But right now, 9 p.m. on the weekdays, Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m.
Well, we wish you enormous success.
Go
right ahead.
I want to say this.
Yes.
The Texas style French toast
Oh,
sticks.
yes.
You're right. They have to try those because no one has ever had anything like it. Am I correct though?
You are so correct.
The Texas style French toast sticks and boneless chicken and waffles.
Was a combination of a sticky bun, the crunch.
it.
It was just so much. It was just
That's a real consumer right there, baby.
explosion in my mouth. That's really what
It's
it
a
was.
circus.
It was
a
just,
circus.
and then you hit that chicken with it, and it just, it's really what I enjoy. And your sauce is spectacular.
The paprika and tarragon mayo,
yes.
all made from scratch, and my original barbecue sauce.
That spectacular. We thank you so much for being
my
on
pleasure.
the
Are you
scoop
kidding me?
today. It's I will definitely be eating a lot more fried food than I expect.
don't think you expected, right?
I love the flavor. I just love the crunch. I love the moist. I love you and what you're doing. And,
I appreciate you times 10, Ernie. Let me
We're
tell you,
grateful that you're here with us.
You set
today
it
on
off,
the
Jada
scoop.
Pinkett, dog. You hear me?
You got it.
That's a long story.
So thank you so much. Don't forget to share this episode with, there he is, Chef Brian Hill, and visit him in South Miami. Again, that's at Umbrella's Food Hall at 5701 Sunset Drive.
Absolutely.
That's the old Marino's place.
I didn't
It's
know
a
that.
wonderful setup.
Yeah.
And they're great people across the street from us, too. Great restaurants across the street. A pizza place and a bakery.
Beautiful.
So dope.
So go in and talk to him. Say hello. You'll be talking to royalty. Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
guys.
being
Thank you so much.
blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank
Absolutely, man.
Perfect.
Yeah.
From this moment on, consumers will expect it and sellers will demand it. Cinematic video walkthroughs for all of your listings. Professional photography, cinematic video walkthroughs, on-camera video tours, and professional voiceover narration. I'm Ernie Emad, head of BlueHourStudios.com. Blue Hour Studios is a progressive visual and audio powerhouse producing high-end video and audio productions. Become an expert in your field with a professionally produced podcast from our studio in Coral Gables. Call Blue Hour Studios today to elevate your image and voice. BlueHourStudios.com. With hundreds of brokerages, thousands of agents, how do you cut through all the noise? One Premier International Realty, a boutique real estate brokerage located in Coral Gables, doing business the old-fashioned way, putting people first. Buying, selling, or leasing residential and commercial properties in Miami-Dade, Broward, and Monroe counties? One Premier International provides each customer a high level of service and communication experience with full-time agents from around the world bringing their unique sense of business skills and a foreign customer base. One Premier International Realty. You've heard of private banking. Now experience private brokerage, a higher level of service and knowledge. One Premier International Realty, 305-669-0233, or go online to www.onepremierinternational.com.
Welcome back to The Scoop on Miami. Still to come is Miami Rewind and the 305's Hidden Treasures. And now, here's Ernie Emad and Lainey Rada.
Welcome back. This is great. What an incredible interview we just had with Chef Brian. What energy, what stories. It was just...
Yeah, it's very deep, and it's really great timing to tell people something that inspiring.
Yeah, I think so.
In that business, because it's tough right now.
It is tough.
So we're always wanting to support everybody out there.
Absolutely. No question about that.
Every time I hear that music, Ernie, you can't, now people can see us dancing, so we have to be careful.
Snorting a little bit too with my laughing, so no question. It does, especially that particular one. It's almost like a shot of Cuban coffee. We normally start with Miami Rewind, but we had such a jam-packed, and I know that Chef Brian is such a dynamic and colorful person that I didn't want to shorten the actual time with our segments, but we've also been getting some great comments about those segments, so we're definitely going to keep them going. What is today's hidden treasure?
You'll hear about it. I get real excited about this place. I really wonder how many people know it's there, because it took me, I don't know, probably most of my life until I discovered this. I was on a walking tour with Dr. Paul George, which I will give credit to my historic interest in Miami forever. And then I ended up getting to visit it a couple other times. So did you know about it?
I did not know about it.
Really?
So I was excited to listen to it yesterday when I was putting it all together. So let's share Lainey's hidden treasures. And now it's time for the 305. The 305 Hidden Treasures. Hidden Treasures with Lainey Rada.
Today, I am sharing a fascinating place steeped in history. In our weekly podcast, you will hear numerous references I mentioned that would require more detailed information. Some of the places we share could have small books written about them. I always like to lead listeners to the site and leave something to pique your curiosity. Today, our hidden treasure is the Scottish Rite Masonic Temple located at 471 Northwest 3rd Street. It is not a location you would typically drive by unless you're in a boat on the Miami River. It is dedicated to the Order of Freemasonry, which is an ancient and accepted Scottish rite. The Masons have a very organized structure of their elaborate titles and their degrees, which you can read about. There are both men and women, and the highest degree is 33. In the early 1900s, they used to meet in a couple different locations in downtown Miami, including the Seabold building, before this building existed. They decided they needed their own location and substantially more space. They chose to erect a temple in 1922. They purchased the 75 by 240 foot lot fronting the Miami River from Henry Tuttle in 1916. It's an interesting area named Fort Dallas. The contract was awarded to John B. Orr, who was a pioneer contractor and builder who constructed the building without personal profit. The architects were Kihel and Elliott from Pittsburgh. With all due respect, I'm not sure how to call the title and degrees attached to these people's names, so I'll give it my best try. The Knight Commander 32nd degree Fred W. Delanium laid the cornerstone. He is named the Venerable Master. The illustrious 33rd degree John W. Coles conducted the opening ceremonies. This treasure is a splendid example of Egyptian architecture. You will have to go very far to find that. It is Miami's first Deco-style building. It is recognized in the top 100 Florida buildings by the Architectural Institute of Architects, otherwise known as the AIA. It was completed in 1924 at the cost of $350,000. Every detail is symbolic. It has numerous double-headed eagles. The most prominent are perched on the roof. It has Doric columns, one of 3 Greek and Roman types. A ziggurat-shaped massive roof capped with a cupola. It is striking. Inside seats 715 people and carries through the Egyptian motif, where the room rises to a large dome. Suspended right in the center is an incredible chandelier of many colors. There are ornamental grills that match the columns, light panels that feature the emblems of the order. There are several balconies. There's so much to share about the elaborate interior. It is a mesmerizing place. In the main lodge, the walls are lined with photos of initiates that go as far back as William Jennings Bryan, class of 1926. There are 70 rooms, a Skinner pipe organ, 2 dining rooms, a print shop, a library, and 14 bathrooms. During World War II, the Army occupied the banquet hall. Other parts of the building were used as an air raid center and other military operations. The historic Temple Theater was originally a silent movie theater. Today, it's still used by the Masons as was intended, but you can rent it. It's also used for weddings and special events. The way I happened to visit was an Orchestra Miami Mozart concert, which is so fitting for classical music. Later, I got to see a play. They have also had well-known guest artists and historians like Dr. Paul George as speakers. The moment I lay my eyes on it, I had to see what was inside. And the doors are rarely open. Keep your eyes peeled. It is exceptional.
You know, one of the wonderful things about that is your guests will not have to wait for a bathroom.
That's true. Well, they're not all accessible. It's kind of like there's parts of it that are, just for the order and the things that they do there. So anyway, I just love the place. And I thought that maybe you had seen it because of boating.
Well, that is true. And is it on the east side of the river?
Yes. It's on the east side.
Will be the south side, I guess.
Over there by Garcia's Fish.
Okay,
in
got
that
it.
neighborhood.
Super. So we're going to do the back-to-back segments today because our segment with Chef Brian took a little bit longer, and we don't want to miss the segment. And we're going to do Miami Rewind right now. Tell me a little bit about this week's episode of Miami Rewind.
Well, I was thinking about this place because I actually had to correct my knowledge because I thought it was one of the oldest golf courses. I thought it was the oldest golf course in Florida, actually, but I found out it wasn't. So here you're going to hear about the history of golfing and golf courses in.
It's time to take a look back with Lainey Rada. Miami Rewind.
4! That was the Miami News headline when the Coral Gables Granada Golf Course opened January 1st, 1923. It was designed under the personal supervision of developers Langford and Moreau from Chicago. The landscape architect was Frank Button. Originally from Vermont, Button was the city's first landscape architect. He had worked as an engineer and construction superintendent for Simon's office and coordinated work issues with John Olmsted in 1904. Does that name sound familiar? Olmsted's brother Frederick was the landscape designer of Central Park in New York. Great exposure. In 1886, a Scottish immigrant, John Gillespie, built a home in Sarasota. It had a long greenway and 2 holes. That was the start of greens. Florida golf history is one of the oldest in the nation, dating back to the 1890s. There are 50 courses built in Florida from 1847 to 1949 that still exist and golfers still play. In the 1890s, most courses were built alongside resort-style hotels that followed the path of the growing railway system. Construction of golf courses and resorts lasted from 1900 to the 1930s, which was termed the Golden Age of architecture. They were designed by many famous golf course architects at the time. The Granada Golf Course contains 58 acres that lie between South and North Greenway Drives, adjacent to the Coral Gables Country Club. It's a public course open to all. It was part of George Merrick's The City Beautiful plan. He had 3,000 acres dedicated for parks, greenery, and bridle paths. Merrick believed that recreational facilities added to the quality of life. Initially, the course was only open to residents. Golf was so popular at the time, the golf pro, Charlie Thumb, was giving lessons on part of the course before it was even completed. The golf course is a popular place for residents now. Almost any time of day, you can find someone running or walking the perimeter. I have had 5K races that included it, and some more special memories are when one of my closest childhood friends had recently returned from a trip to Africa. We used to walk from her house and sit in the gazebos that are around the course and practice Swahili. My son's Boy Scout meetings were on the grounds too. In 2015, there were extensive renovations and upgrades that included the greens and tees and fairways. The golf course is part of the Florida Historic Golf Trail. There's a special golf card that's available at each course, and you can collect it at any of the courses or online and think about the history while you improve your handicap. That's the scoop.
We've come to the end of another episode of The Scoop on Miami, found on iTunes, YouTube, thescooponmiami.com. Facebook page. Lainey, this was an exciting day today.
Yes.
First of all, the first time we're in our office studio, it feels great to be here with people as opposed to just Zoom. We tried to do the best we could with social distancing by putting everybody far apart from each other.
Armed. I'm protected.
Next week, I have the pause for you people. Nowadays, we need companions, specifically if you're staying home and you can't visit people. There's a lot of pet adoptions, and we're going to tell you how to do it right. We don't want a fad of pet adoptions and then returning those pets, so we want you to be completely informed. And then the following week after that, we have the Cat Network, so we're going to take care of the dogs and the cat lovers, and that's all next week. Lainey, thank you so much for being part of this. I am grateful that every week we get to do this.
Me too.
Super.
We had a good time today.
Absolutely. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
We hope you were entertained, informed, enriched, and proud to live in Miami. We have come to the end of another episode of The Scoop on Miami with your host, Ernie Emad, broker, owner of One Premier International Realty, and Lainey Rada, a leading-edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman. Thank you for riding alongside our journey. If you know of a special person doing wonderful things in our community or want your business featured, visit thescooponmiami.com and contact us. Find The Scoop on Miami on iTunes. Subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. While there, leave a comment. We'd love to know what you think. And now you have The Scoop on Miami.